Hello everybody, welcome back after that incredibly hype Smash Ultimate Grand Final. Congratulations to Hartford for winning that one out, coming out of the lower bracket and pulling off the upset. But now we've got to see if they'll be able to come out of the lower bracket and pull off another upset here in Rocket League, as Hartford Red is going to face off against UConn in our Rocket League Grand Final.
Yes, I'm very much so looking forward to this after Hartford Red kind of defied all odds and beat Sacred Heart. And, you know, I'm looking forward to this because this is not a team that UConn has seen yet, right? We've seen UConn play all these other teams and be absolutely dominant, but we don't know if they're ready for what Hartford Red has to bring. Yeah,
we've seen them play similar teams, and based on how they stacked up against each other, Hartford Red were able to beat Shoe Red, and Shoe Red also lost to UConn. But very different scenarios, and they're all both coming into this kind of cold. But before we actually get into the action, want to make sure you know who is going to be playing. So we'll head to Dwayne in the forum.
And guys, we are back, and I am super excited because right now it's the Rocket League Championship between Hartford and UConn. For Hartford, we have Spy328, Sir Plushy, and Astro. And for UConn, we have Anton, Shiro, and Kaker. So I'm super excited. Let's not wait anymore, and let's get right into the action. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you again, Dwayne. Bringing the hype to every single game today. He's definitely doing that for Rocket League. Is getting so excited for this one. And you won't have to wait long because we're going to get right into it. Our Rocket League Grand Final at the Connecticut Esports Showcase, powered by Sacred Heart Esports, is underway between the University of Hartford Red and the University of Connecticut. And already, UH looking to defy the odds, and they've got some early pressure as Astro looking to send it towards the middle, but it's shut down quickly.
All I got to say is I'm super excited to see what happens here. You know, we've been waiting for this moment, the final game of our tournament for Rocket League, that is. And oh, wow, that was almost an amazing touch right there by Astro to get that goal in there.
Yeah, UConn looking uncharacteristically sloppy and slow to start things off.
Wow!
It's through! Sir Plushy said this is not an upset if we just dominate the whole way through, and they're going to start things off on the right foot, as they've been making it through the lower bracket for a reason. They're trying to catch UConn off guard, and they're doing that right now with that early goal. 36 seconds in, already a lead for the University of Hartford. And we've said this about every game they've played today, but we don't have them chosen to win this one, so maybe that's where they just thrive or something. Maybe that's what it is.
Underdogs right here, and it's very interesting to see how they play, because if we remember, like, they're a very good balanced team. They could go out there, they could score 7 goals, but they could also win an overtime match as well. And, you know, I feel like UConn has played teams that are more defensive or are more offensive, as in Sacred Heart, you know, when they played Sacred Heart. But, you know, they never really played a team that's perfectly balanced, I would say.
Yeah, this is the kind of team that can play to whatever play style they need to fit at the moment. Is Sir Plushy looking for a play off that wall, not going to find it. Astro has to fade away, but accidentally gets in the way of that clear attempt from Spider. Does pick up some more boost, though, and can try and play with that forward. However, it's going forward again from Kaker, as he's not able to get it too far. Good pressure here from UConn, but it isn't really mounting too heavily. Hartford are doing a good job alleviating it. That is until Kaker able to make it work as he puts another one through. Great pass into the center, and it's not just going to be a walk for Hartford, not by any means, because UConn making sure they know they are here to play as well. It's a 1-1 scoreline.
Right, and we saw UConn down yesterday to Sacred Heart 2-0 at the time, and, you know, with UConn, it's not over until it's over. They could come out and they could bring this game back into their favor whenever they feel like it, as they get another goal back-to-back, and they take the lead 2-1 against Hartford Red.
UConn starting to warm up, and that is a dangerous prospect for Hartford Red. They came into this hoping they were the hotter hand of the two, coming off of 2 fresh victories, but as soon as UConn gets a goal, they've got momentum already, and that's a second one for them. Is a 2-1 advantage now, and they win the next kickoff. They get a good shot on, and it's all the way through. What a good demo that was for University of Connecticut, and they're able to make it even more offense, seemingly out of nowhere. They snap their fingers, and they generate another goal. It's 3-1.
Right, and we're seeing something that we saw a lot yesterday, and it's that UConn could turn up whenever they feel the need to. Right, and as we see that going down 1-0, and they're like, all right, we see how they play, boom, 3-1, just like that, just by the snap of my fingers. And now UConn is really well in the driver's seat of this game.
Definitely. They're also very excellent at playing off of the kickoffs. A lot of the time, you'll see them score once, and then all of a sudden they're up by 3 after 20 seconds, because those 10 seconds post-kickoff is where they can really shine sometimes. And they've been shining there so far this game. It's UConn looking to make it one more, putting pressure on Hartford once more. However, still holding strong is Astro, but they haven't really gotten it out of their own half in these past minute or two. They've got that first goal, but since then it's been a very, very slow game from Hartford. Another opportunity could come through, but Kaker has it now up to the roof, to the back wall. Does get a touch, but not a good enough touch. As Anton looking for something, but not able to find anything either. It's in front of the Hartford net, but it's dealt with well by Serplushy, who has possession, sends it past one. Can't beat both, though. And so Hartford now have possession for the first time in quite some time, but it's not going to last too long, and they're not going to get anything done while they have it.
Yeah, and this is very interesting to see them give up 3 goals this early, because Hartford's defense was something that was very notable against their series against Sacred Heart. So, as they... there was a good setup there. Yeah. Almost another goal.
Would have been a phenomenal shot from Kaker off that aerial attempt, but it's not going to work.
There's
Does
the
work
goal.
there, though. It's Shiru, the man who was terrorizing pretty much everybody they played against. Put up so many goals. I think he definitely was their leading scorer. There were plenty of times where Shiru put up hat tricks against teams that were just hoping to get by and make it to the main stage. Didn't allow anybody to do that, and doesn't look like he's going to be allowing UH to do too well in this grand final either, as they took the first goal, but every goal since has been decisively in favor of UConn as they lead 4-1, and only a minute and a half left for Hartford to work with. Yes, they're getting shots on, but they're not getting shots in, as they're getting shut down by UConn at every turn.
Yeah, definitely. And here, look, UConn is playing the amazing defense and turning it into offense, which is something that Hartford doesn't seem to be able to do, because whenever they make their push, it's cleared, and you already see UConn setting up a shot as we're watching right here, even though that one got blocked there. But, you know, huge thing, defense to offense.
Yeah, it's like you said, they just set up shots so quickly. They take the ball up the field, and they don't waste any time, but Hartford, ooh, almost not wasting any opportunities. However, a couple of good ones will come and go without being capitalized upon. As attempts there for Hartford Red, but they're not going to get anything to go quite yet. And they really, that's been kind of the story of it, as a double tap, triple tap, almost gets all 4 touches off the back wall, and then taps it in, but would have been one of the best goals we've seen all tournament. Instead, just one of the best near goals we've seen all tourney, but UConn not too heartbroken over that, as they've got a 3-goal lead with 30 seconds left.
Right, and this game is now, I would say, maybe a little bit out of reach for Hartford. 20 seconds left. Usually not much happens in these scenarios, but, you know, these teams are getting a feel for each other game one. We knew UConn was going to come out hot, especially in these circumstances, being in the finals and everything like that.
Yeah.
But really, the next game depends on how, you know, they come out and change their game plan.
Hartford, it's going to be interesting to see what they switch up going into the next game, because something needs to be switched up, because you cannot have a repeat of that. Maybe you want a repeat of the first 36 seconds.
Right.
Other than that, you want everything to be completely different, because from then on out, it was UConn domination, as HF Red got 6 shots on goal, only one of them getting through. Meanwhile, it was plenty more than that. 14 shots for UConn, 4 of them were good enough to go all the way, and almost as many saves as Hartford on the UConn side, while they had significantly less shots taken on their net. So, like, that just goes to show their defense is solid, their offense is solid. What isn't solid about this squad right now? I don't know. It'll have to be exposed in game number 2, because we've got a best-of-5 grand final, which means you've got to get to 3 games first, and UConn already a third of the way there, looking to make it more, as Anton denied on the air dribble early on.
Right, and I think it's very important there that you mentioned the best-of-5 series. That means you got to win 3 games. We've seen a lot of teams in this tournament lose the first one and kind of get blown out in the second one, but that shouldn't be a thing here, right?
No,
you know, we have 3 games that the other team needs to win. You have time to maybe make a mistake game 1 and come back and reverse sweep them, but, you know, that's still something that needs to be dealt with within the team. You know, just the heart, communication, and we'll see how bad they want it. As
Almost through. Nice try from Astro. I don't love what I'm seeing on the defensive end from Hartford. They look to be very worried. They look to be playing scared, getting overly aggressive, the same way we saw Shu kind of pushing for way too much when they really didn't have to. Their teammates had much better angles on certain touches. That's kind of what we saw for a little bit on the Hartford defense, but eventually they're able to calm themselves down. Now Astro looking to send it to the midfield. Not going to be able to get it to Surplushy, however Spy ends up with it. Shiru now at the roof. Taking it back down to the midfield though goes Anton. Now Kaker sending over to the side. Yukon comfortable at the moment and a lot of position for Kaker, a lot of space, but it's actually going to be closed in on very quickly as Spy shuts that one down. Anton trying to make a play to the midfield, but instead it's a big shot for Shiru and another goal for Yukon. This time they take the lead first off.
That goal animation is giving me flashbacks of yesterday. Those flowers popping out of the goal right there for Shiru.
So many
Unstoppable.
times.
Unstoppable.
So many times
I feel like I'm hearing that every 2 seconds.
Exactly, and well, I mean, that's exactly what Shiru was looking for. The one thing that UConn didn't do well last game was they didn't score first. And they've scored first here. So is it going to be a repeat of last game from here on out? No, actually, because nobody's got any boost. And Spy's just going to jump over everybody. There Spy is again. Didn't score in the first game. Was so influential in the first 2 games they played today. It's probably the best in terms of their lower bracket run today in person. Has been the best scorer most definitely for their squad, as Surplushy's been rounding everything out, being everywhere they need him to be, and Astro has been so effective at opening up opportunities and enabling his teammates, but it's been Spy time and time again to open up those opportunities and to actually put the ball into the net. Does it again, and Hartford are actually able to take the fight to UConn and even things back out here as Spy puts another one on target, but the target is blocked by Anton, who will keep it at a 1-1 game.
That goal is, I thought it was wide open there for a second.
Yeah, no.
Did not see Astro there. But I would have to say Hartford has been setting themselves up for a couple of good opportunities here so far. And it's almost right there. And it's good to see them coming out, you know, and keep bringing the fight to UConn.
Definitely good to see, as last game, once we've gotten to this point in the game, it really started to look out of hand, but it hasn't done so just yet for Hartford. Remains to be seen whether or not things will all of a sudden fall suddenly in favor of UConn so drastically, or whether or not Hartford will be able to remain in this one for the entire duration of the game, as Anton beats one at the midfield. Actually, though, beaten to the next touch by Hartford as they have possession. Decent 50 from Astro. Should be able to follow that up, but Anton actually there instead. He sends it up to Shiru, looking to make some offense happen. Tries a pinch on the wall, instead fakes it, or maybe just misses it. Regardless of what happened, it's Spy now with possession and looking to make some offense happen for UConn. Good bumps there onto Anton as well. So Plushy able to be one, looking to juke out everybody. Now it's into the middle of the field. What a save from Anton. It keeps them at a 1-1 scoreline, as should have been a lead for Hartford, but a great defensive play will keep UConn tied.
Yeah, this is very interesting to see these two teams go back and forth, especially because UConn is such a strong offensive team.
Yeah.
Right? And that just goes to show how balanced. Anton coming in from the goal, playing all that defense, but then he's going to turn it into a goal for himself.
Yeah, what a great passing play. You were talking about how strong of an offensive team they are. That is one of the fastest aerials you'll ever see. Anton gets up and gets after it as soon as physically possible. And able to make it 2-1 as UConn in the lead once more. Hartford, they've been able to take the lead back once this game, but can they score it again and possibly threaten in overtime here? They're going to have to try and catch somebody too far forward. Kaker is definitely far up, but not far up enough to be taken advantage of by Hartford, and so UConn are going to be in the lead still. Passing in the midfield from Surplushy, almost able to score that is Astro. Follow-up from Spy, not good enough, and nobody's home, but Anton not able to capitalize, so Hartford should be able to assemble some kind of defense. Shiru going up, but he doesn't need any help! Anton doesn't need your help at all! He does it all himself and makes it a 3-1 lead. What a clean air dribble he got there. And the last touch perfectly placed over both defenders, or over one defender, next to the next one, and it's slotted in 3-1 lead for UConn.
That was beautiful. You saw Shiru go up there. He's like, hey, you need help with this one? Anton's like, no, I got it.
No.
I'm just going to dunk on the entire team right here, and that's exactly what he does. And Anton doing his thing this game, getting the last 2 goals to put UConn back in the driver's seat of this game.
Absolutely in the driver's seat, in a risky spot right now, though, but that's a weak shot from Hartford.
Almost a bad call there by the team, you know, bumping into each other. Kaker, and that looked like to be Anton bumping into each other. Could have cost them the goal.
Yeah, could have. Fortunately for them, though, it doesn't, and the Huskies do continue to be in the lead by 2, and Well, doesn't look like things will change. If anything's going to change, it's going to go back in favor of UConn. Anton was looking to do just that. Can't quite get it done, though. Kaker and Shiru work together, but they're not able to get anything done either. 25 seconds left as Anton leaves it in the middle of the field. Kaker coming through for the steal. Now wants to pass it out into the center. Shiro there. Very, very soft shot, though, so it's easily saved by Astro, but they're running out of time. They don't have any space. They don't have any boost. They haven't got anything to play with. Oh! And all of a sudden, it's a 4-1 lead for UConn.
There he is again. There's our guy.
There he is. He just consistently, he is all over the pitch, and he's getting every single shot on. 2 straight 4-1 games, it looks like, for UConn as they look to take this series in a sweep.
Yep, there again. There it is again. Shiru's little goal animation right there.
Yeah.
Going off. Something that we can't seem to get away from in this entire tournament.
I don't think you will ever equip that goal explosion ever again if you're playing on the side of Hartford or any team that's had to play up against UConn. Because like you said, the PTSD associated with it, just there are flashbacks to that LAN event that could have been a LAN victory. But right now, it does not look like it will be. Hartford Red went on an inspirational run through that lower bracket, but they are looking a little tough at the moment.
Yeah, it is looking pretty difficult here. UConn just been in control entirely, it seems, so far in this series. You know, 4-1, 4-1. They're kind of just getting the feel out earlier on in the game. And then once they see what's going on, they adapt, they change, and they go back to their regular UConn ways. UConn seems to be a team that makes very few mistakes.
Yeah, they're not making many mistakes at all. That much can be said for sure. Will that change, though, coming into this final game? It's going to have to change for all of you Hartford fans out there. And also, just for my sake, because I would like to see not a 3-0 sweep in very anticlimactic fashion.
You love to see more games.
I love to see more games, but like at this point, I just want to see a competitive game because the last one was pretty good for a little while, but both times at some point it's just been too much for Hartford, and they always end up folding eventually. How long is it going to take this game, or will they fold at all? Will they actually possibly be able to take their first game? Remains to be seen as we're into game number 3. Match point, series point, tournament point, and showcase point for UConn as they could possibly take everything here. But not too bad of a start for Hartford, already getting some kind of pressure on UConn and threatening with some shots.
Yeah, definitely. But one thing, and I could be wrong here, that we've seen from UConn in this entire tournament is when they're up, they like to step on the necks of their enemies and completely finish them off. Right? You know, every game that's like an elimination game, UConn goes out there and they score a ton. They score a ton, and they absolutely dominate. As we're seeing it right here.
Yep. First goal, Shiru again. The flowers can't escape.
I'm sick of it.
I'm sick of it. Please change the goal explosion, Shiru. if you're gonna keep scoring, that's gonna be a necessity. As a 1-0 lead with 4 minutes to play, and Hartford, if the mental wasn't good already, it's getting worse and worse with time.
Right, and you know, as I said before, UConn loves to come out in these elimination games and absolutely dominate, and that's a great way to start off there as they almost get another one.
Yeah, Kaker nearly with the most stylish of double taps, but not able to get that second tap, and on the follow-up attempt, it was not scored on. So, University of Connecticut looking for more, pass back from Kaker. Anton has it now into the corner, but it's now on possession of Hartford. Is Surplus going to take it out? And we haven't really seen them really do much at all. I don't even know if they have as much as a shot on goal this game, Hartford, as they've had some kind of rough starts all tournament. But there we go. As though they heard me on command. Spy able to make my wishes come true. He's the genie of my choice. And well, there you go. Spy able to give me exactly what I wanted. A goal for you, Hartford, and what everybody wanted. A more competitive game is where I'll even down.
Right, and that seemed to be a bit of a miscommunication there from UConn. You know, standing in the goal with whoever that might have been there, and he didn't really go for it. I feel like he was expecting somebody else to get that ball.
Yeah, and that's what is going to happen. Make mistakes like that, and Hartford will punish. However, it just hasn't been many mistakes from UConn, and that's what Hartford have depended on. They've depended on those mistakes being made, and here you go. Can we possibly see an outplay? Not quite, though. Missed follow-up shot from Spy. An uncharacteristic miss from Spy as he's been on a heater all day. Push forward attempted there from Astro, but he's not able to score. Now Surplushy has possession in his own half, but denied such by Shiru, has continued possession for UConn, and they're so far up the field, but they're just so dominant, they don't even care. A miscommunications defensively from Hartford, but fortunately for them, nothing crucial, and they are still tied here. But Shiru to the back wall, Shiru leaving it off, not quite able to score that one though, not Kaker, it was Anton who went for that one. Now Kaker left alone defense, but gets 2 touches on his own backboard, so everything's fine.
Everything is looking fine right now for UConn. Usually they give up a goal in these games, and they ended up 4-1. Easy wins for them, but we'll see. Is Hartford going to come here with something different? Look, they're back in this game now. It's 1-1. You know, both teams have to be on the offensive here and try and score a goal. So will that change the way the outcome of this game goes?
Yeah, and Hartford, that's been their struggle, being able to get that offense going. Open net, it's missed, but Spy has to follow, and it's perfect there from him again. A beautiful pass from Astro, and now they've got a lead later on into the game than they've had a lead all series. And they've been getting better and better as this series has gone on specifically. But that's the thing, is it going to be enough? Will UConn have that surge towards the end of the game that they've been having all series, or can Hartford hold on?
You know, this is the only time so far in the series that they've been down this late in the game.
Yes.
UConn is a good team, though. I don't feel like this is going to hurt them.
In other news, water is wet.
Yeah.
No. Technically, there's a
who knows? We don't need to get into that debate.
Yeah, no.
But what's not debatable is that UConn usually comes back from situations like these, as we've seen in the couple of games before.
Definitely have seen them, and sort of being up is when they're in their element, when they're playing their best. But when they are down, they're usually able to come back, because they haven't lost a single game yet all tournament. Will Hartford be the ones to take their first one off of them? Good pass forward to the back wall. Nobody in a good spot to defend that from UConn. Eventually they're able to get it out, but not far enough out. Still a shot from Astro, saved by Anton. Clears attempted. It's going to be Kaker, the first one to really get anything going. Now Shiru, shot completely misses the ball.
Missed that one.
Uncharacteristic, but now they've got all the pressure on, and a miss from Hartford, but a big save from Spy. Another shot set to come through, but Shiru's missed it. And uncharacteristic whiffs from Shiru mean that UConn's still down. Shiru trying to redirect as 50 seconds to go. And Hartford still looking to cling to this lead with their life.
Definitely, and you know, even if UConn ends up scoring the goal in this game with this this low amount of time left on the clock, you know, Hartford is one of those teams that you don't want to see in overtime, as we've seen so far.
We've seen them twice in overtime today. They've won both of them, but UConn at this point is begging for overtime, because that's better than losing in regulation, and they've only got 20 seconds left to secure the win if they want it, or at least secure the overtime. Is Kaker trying to send forward. Good save from Astro, continuing to follow. So much boost and so persistent on that ball. Kaker, though, able to touch it back up the field. Here's Shiru, wants something, gets it to the midfield. Good touch from Serplash, and it's way too far away. Anton now going to send it forward for one final attempt, but Astro wants a goal, doesn't get a goal, but Hartford Red are able to do the seemingly impossible, and they take a game from UConn. Could we see a reverse sweep here?
It's possible. You know, that's the beauty of these 5-game, you know, the best of 5-game series here. It's not just 2 and you're out.
Yeah.
You got time. You got time to make a couple mistakes here and there. But, you know, they finally took a win off UConn. How is UConn going to react to that? They haven't lost this entire tournament.
They're going to need to regain and do so quickly, because they were the better team in those first couple games. But after that third one, things are looking very, very off from UConn. They do not look to be themselves. Not by any sense of the term. Is we've seen them so much today, so much through this tournament, or we haven't seen them so much today. We've seen HF Red so much today.
Yes, right.
And they've been balling out all day. That's the Red that we were hoping to see coming into this tournament. That's what we were hoping to see coming into this grand final specifically, and they were able to give it to us there. But can we get it for another game and then another game, because they're too far down to really have any breathing room. Oh my God.
That was a great kickoff right there for UConn. However, they are unable to capitalize.
Unlucky. They almost had it. Trying to make big plays was Anton, I believe, but he wasn't able to do it. Now threatening is Serplushy, but not able to push it all the way through. Kaker with a big save. Shiro going to follow up the field, looking for shots, but not allowed any space as Astro takes the possession away from UConn. And then a big bump on the Kaker, but not enough time to get possession as Spy all the way back. Needs to corral this one for the defense, but can't quite do it. Into the middle of the field, but no goal yet for UConn, no goal yet for Hartford. Will remain 0-0 for the time being.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. Coming out like this for UConn after losing a game, which is a feeling that they haven't felt before. How are they going to react to being down, or not being down, but losing a game and coming back and trying to win, because they haven't felt what that feels like as opposed to the other
I
teams.
do think they will still be okay.
Right.
If they lose this one, though, the pressure's really on. I think for this game, though, we will still see a similar UConn, similar play style. We are seeing them maybe a bit more conservative, but that's just kind of them giving respect to their opponents that maybe they weren't dishing out in that first game. Because I know you talked to the UConn guys before this matchup, which it's so fun to be in the same place, can I just say. We could talk to the players right before the games. And you said they weren't expecting to see Sacred Heart. They weren't anticipating Hartford, and so maybe they weren't giving them the respect, but it's demanded as Sir Plushy almost able to score right there.
Right, and I feel like, you know, it wasn't that they weren't giving them respect, it's like they didn't know what to expect.
There you go.
Right? Obviously, they expect Sacred Heart after the competition that they brought to them yesterday. But, you know, it's interesting here to see them play a team that really this wasn't expected out of them.
Yeah, and this is a team that's actually holding so much pressure, too. Hartford are dominating the pace of play, at least they have been over the last 30 seconds to a minute. It hasn't really gotten out of this blue half much. Big demos and boost steals just totally controlling this perfectly, because they notice if we don't have a play on the ball, we'll just take their boost and make sure they don't have a play on the ball and hopefully catch them getting over aggressive. Almost a big shot from Spy.
Whoa.
The follow-up's way too high though, and now that's going to be a missed opportunity from Hartford as we still remain at no goals as we're hitting halfway through, and UConn looking to put one on top of the board. Shiru though misses that one, and so Hartford with possibly other opportunities.
Yeah, right there, we're definitely seeing...
Oh my gosh, wait, it's whiffed. He sent it way too high. Next follow-up is off the crossbar as well, so Shiru can't put it through. UConn not quite able to score on any of these chances. How about Anton putting it into the middle of the field? How about no thank you, says Astro, as he'll send it away. Big demo onto Spike, so able to get some time to just corral the ball, but Sir Plushy's right on top of Anton, able to keep the pressure on from Hartford, keep the pressure on UConn as Spy looking to just corral this one, but he's missed the touch. Phantom touch there is 2 minutes to go, and neither team able to best the other defensively, but UConn have had so many close chances, and they're looking for more here.
Definitely looking for something here on both teams, but this is where Hartford's balanced play style kind of comes into play.
Oh yeah.
Nothing's working on the offensive end, so how about we work them here on defense as well and see what we can make happen.
Yeah, they're working him on the defensive end as they have been all game, and big demo from Sir Plushy removes Kaker from the equation, but Anton is still able to make a big play. However, pressure is still on as Spy gets a touch forward. Sir Plushy calls him off, says I'm here to follow, follows it well, almost follows it into the net, but still it's not quite going to fall just yet. Big touch from Spy, but not able to follow it up as the side flip accidentally means that he can't quite prevent Kaker from getting that save and keeping his team from being at a deficit.
Wow.
Big air triple from Shiru.
There he is.
Astro
There
to make
he
it
is.
a lead. And there it is again, the devil incarnate. You say his name and he just gets the goals immediately. Shiru is just the worst enemy of University of Hartford at the moment.
Of everyone in this tournament, he's the worst enemy.
Exactly. Sparing nobody.
Look, this was a slow-paced game, and Shiru said, I got to take this onto myself. He takes the ball all the way from what seemed to be a little bit behind midfield and absolutely dunked on Astro there.
Astro not even given a chance. And when we say he spared nobody through this tournament, Astro is no exception. But Astro looking to be the one to not spare anybody.
Wow.
What a big save from Anton to shut down the attempted follow from Sir Plushy. Now Spy just leaving in front of their own net. Needs to take some time for possession and try and maybe force this UConn offense forward so they can catch them off guard. Big touch there defensively for UConn. But a big demo. That's
there it is!
It's in! Astro keeps it tied. 1-1 in game 4. And Hartford aren't going to be going quite yet.
Astro said, I'm not putting up with this.
No.
After you just did that to me, I got to get you guys right back. And he does it. And he does it. Top right. Easy.
Top right. Massive for Astro. And now Hartford. How can they possibly respond? UConn, you had such a big advantage, and Spy is looking to end it in regulation. Air dribble forward to the back wall. No thank you, says Kaker. Tries to slow it down, but a missed touch from his teammate up the field means Astro able to get that one for free. Touch forward from Anton again. Spy just continuing to keep the pressure up as it's mounting on this UConn team. But Kaker has it from a distance. It's not in, but it's so close and still threatening our UConn. But that's a big clear. Wait, is that on? Not quite, as it could hit the ground, but Shiru going to keep it up right in front of their own net. Risky situation, and we get overtime.
And this is where you do not want to see Hartford. I could hear you know, UConn right now. I can imagine they're like, oh my God, these guys do not quit.
Wait, but this is possibly threatening. It's dropping back down in front of the net from Hartford, but nothing happening quite yet. Shiru not able to set up their teammates quite effectively enough. As forward goes Spy, and he's been the one to score a lot. Would be fitting if he were the one to end it here, if it were to end in UConn, or Hartford's favor, but UConn. Surely you think it's got to be Shiru to put this last one through if they're going to be the ones to score. Anton now flicks into the corner, wants to corral it, but doesn't have enough space. Surplushy able to touch that one, but it's midfield, but way too far past Shiru. Now 1v1, Anton alone against Astro, but he's comfortable enough to make the save. Spy touches off the wall, then to the backboard. It's up and it's available for the touching, but the possession is taken by Kaker, but Spy misses that touch, and Kaker just running through their defense, trying to bump and throw off as many people as he can. Able to do it effectively. Shiru now touches forward. Good touch into the midfield again, but a clear made by Hartford at the perfect time. They're threatening now. Big demo for Spy, but he's not able to get it. And so many shots back and forth, but nobody able to put anything through.
This is an absolute nail biter. I'm just going through so many emotions right now. As I watch these balls get into, you know, the danger zone, I would say, on each end. You never know how this is going to go. Both of these teams are playing so well right now.
Drop down from Shiru. It's through! Kaker wins it for UConn! OT is needed, but nothing more than game 4. UConn says you took a game off of us, but that's all you're going to take. Kaker slots it left side. So close with Surplushy. But unfortunately for Hartford, it was a dream dashed at the very, very end. Kept alive by Astro, but not allowed to happen for much longer. And you see the players shaking hands. So excited are UConn, as they are the Connecticut Esports Showcase Rocket League champions. And it was well deserved.
Right, but you want to know what? I give Hartford so much credit. They had no quit in them. They were going to fight to the very last second of this game and see what they can do against this dominant UConn team. But, you know, amazing play from both ends.
I'm disappointed we didn't get a game 5. Those last 2 games were so good at the very end.
So great.
But we aren't going to see a game 5. Instead, things are wrapped up in 4. UConn, they lost a game for the first time all tournament, and they seemingly said, all right, that's enough. Enough monkey business. Enough fooling around. Enough, I'm forgetting the word. But you know what? Just no more. They end it here. And they just are able to do that, but it was not nearly that easy. Hartford bringing the fight to them every step of the way.
Definitely. You know, this was, I would say, probably, you know, one of the best series that we've watched so far.
Yeah, this one, Shu and UConn was also pretty exciting. And then the lower bracket final as well. Yep. So our winners bracket final, our losers bracket final, and our grand final. 3 of the best series we've had so far this tournament. It didn't start great, but by the end, this one was as climactic as any grand final in Rocket League history. And it's UConn, the ones to take it. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to Hartford Red on a hard-fought tournament run through the lower bracket. That's all we have for Rocket League today, though, and that's all we have from Rocket League from this tournament. So thank you very much for joining us. Up next is going to be Overwatch after a quick break to get everything set up. Fred's going to stick around. I'll be back later with Valorant after Overwatch. And so, stick around through this break if you want to watch the Overwatch Grand Final. It's going to be a fun one.